Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Now it's on to the American League Championship Series. The Red Sox with a 3-game sweep, and they are back to the ALCS. They will face either Cleveland or New York. The Indians and Yankees have to battle over their ALCS, but 3 series have already been wrapped up in the division series, including today's win for the Red Sox, masterful pitching from Curt Schilling, and back-to-back homers from the dynamic duo. David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez do it again. The Red Sox move on with a 3-game sweep. WB Mason's Extra Innings with Jerry Remy and Jim Rice begins right now. Well, 2 swings of the bat seemed to break the back of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The 4th inning saw back-to-back homers from the big boys. Big Papi and Manny doing it again as Ortiz and Ramirez power the Red Sox. What was a tight game was broken open, and the Red Sox win this one by the 9-1 final. Welcome to WB Mason's Extra Innings here at our Nesson HD Television Center. I'm Tom Karen. He's Jim Rice. He's Jerry Remy. And it might have been the big bats that got the lead, but it was the arm of Curt Schilling that got the win. Curt Schilling was outstanding today.
He was, Tom. You know, the first couple of innings, I thought he struggled a little bit. You know, he had a lot of pitches up in the zone. The Angels did hit some balls pretty hard off him, but they were for outs. As the game went on, I thought he threw his fastball. He had great control with his fastball. Not overpowering, 88 to 91 at times, but hitting his corners. And to me, it looked like an Angel team that after the 3rd inning had just completely caved in. I mean, they had a feeble offensive attack the whole series, and it was extremely feeble here this afternoon. Not to take anything away from Schilling's performance, but there was not much in that lineup to deal with.
Jim, in the pregame show, we talked about this being a new Curt Schilling, and he can't blow it by you anymore, but he can still paint. He did that. He mixed in the curveball. Jerry talked a lot about it in the pregame show. He kept him guessing once he was able to settle down.
Veteran pitcher, hit his spots. No, he's not overpowering anymore, but he did make the pitches when he had to. And I talked to Jerry earlier about this. It seemed like when Weaver came out, it was just something in his voice when he had a press conference. I told Jerry, I said, this man doesn't have it today. I mean, even though he probably pitched a pretty decent game, but it just seemed like he still had fear. And now you got Curt Schilling out there hitting his spots. You got Big Papi and Manny.
7 innings, 6 hits, and no runs allowed. And this is the scene in the locker room just moments ago as they get to celebrate. They get to crack out the champagne for what, the 2nd time in 9 days. It never gets old. You get to do this, well, 4 times, I guess, at the most. And this is the 2nd time. They did it for the regular season division championship. Now they do it for a division series. It'll seem like they hardly got out to Anaheim, and I'm sure that's fine with them.
Oh, yeah. The sooner they get on the plane, the better. Get back home. You know, the thing that has surprised me, I think, the most about this series is the fact that how easy it was for the Red Sox. You know, Beckett comes out strong in that first game and just totally shuts it down completely. You had the dramatics of Game 2 with Manny's home run. But this game, even though it was 2-0, it felt like it was a 10-0 Red Sox lead. It felt like even with 2 runs, they had no chance to come back and win this ballgame.
A depleted lineup. We talked about Gary Matthews Jr. not being on this roster at all. Garrett Anderson has to come out with the eye problem. There was no protection for Vladimir Guerrero.
No protection, but regardless of that, you sure got to show a little more enthusiasm. It seemed like it was just flat. They were just dead. It wasn't anything out there. And when you have an advantage like that, you have them down 2-0. What more than to put the nail in the coffin?
All due respect to Vladimir Guerrero, he's a great player, but to come out of a game in Boston after getting hit in the shoulder in the playoffs, come on, give me a break. I mean, he didn't look like he was into this series at all.
And he has not performed well in the postseason. That's been one of the knocks against him, and it didn't change this time.
Well, not only that, you can go back and look at his 4 at-bats. And look at the swings. I mean, he hit sort of like a little line drive that was off his shoe top, and then he started swinging at balls all over the place. I mean, a couple of balls he hit down the right field line for La Papa. It was just like mediocre swinging. He wasn't in it today.
All right, back to Schilling again. He comes out today, and as you said, a runner in each of the first couple of innings, then the big jam in the 3rd inning. Bases loaded with 2 outs, and he's got to get out of the jam. He's careful with Guerrero. I'm not sure that he was trying to walk him because he was looking for those strikes a couple times on the outside of the plate.
He made a mistake, you know, to Cabrera with an 0-2 pitch. He gave up a base hit there. And, of course, we see the guy take it off Figgins at first base. Now, there's the 0-2 pitch to Cabrera that ends up being a base hit. That was a mistake by Schilling. A very close play at 3rd base, but I believe that he was safe. Figgins was there. Here's a replay of that. You see Manny, the throw, the tag. I believe the foot's on the bag. The tag is high, and I believe the other foot is also on the bag. So I don't think the Red Sox had a legitimate argument on that call. After that, you see Guerrero here. Now, his pitch is low and away. Now, there's a pitch that Schilling wanted for a strike. That one's outside, no question. Now, there's another one right here that he also thinks is a strike. So there are two pitches in that sequence there that he thought he was strikes. So he wasn't trying to pitch around Guerrero. He was trying to make tough pitches to him. And then, of course, Willits comes in with the big pop-up here. And that, to me, that took all the energy out of the Angels right there. When they couldn't score in that inning, they had nothing left after that.
And you know, and I know that if Vladimir was in there, those two pitches that Schilling thought was a strike, Vladimir would have swung at that ball.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, you know, you hear he's pitching around. I mean, he wasn't pitching around him. He was trying to make tough pitches on him, and I'm quite surprised he didn't swing at those pitches.
Me too.
And Willits ends up being the guy who pops out. And again, if Gary Anderson's able to stay in the game, if he's healthy, maybe it's a different lineup.
It might be a different story. You know, Anderson hasn't been great against Schilling in his career, but he's better than Willits.
Right, no question about that. Curt Schilling, again, what, 9-2 now, his all-time record in the postseason, the best winning percentage in postseason history of anyone with 10 or more decisions. His ERA goes down to 1.93. That's amongst the best all-time. 5-1 his starts with the Red Sox. He's never lost a division series. Might be a different guy, but he still comes up big when the stakes are highest.
Well, he said it, Tom. You know, he said, I have a game plan against these guys, and he certainly did. And it seemed like after the first couple of innings when he was had problems, you know, keep getting the ball up in the zone, that's when he went to his fastball, it seemed more. And even though it was not an overpowering fastball, he was hitting the corners. He hit the inside corner, the outside corner. He had a very good split, I thought, as the game went on. So, you know, he did exactly what he wanted to do. This is the Curt Schilling that we've been watching pretty much since the second half of the season, you know, after that one hitter when he had to take some time off, come back, and make an adjustment in his game. And the adjustment has been, I'm not a power pitcher anymore, but I still know how to pitch. I've got great control, and he showed it again today.
And when in doubt, if you have someone like Vladdy, even though I'm trying to pitch around, I'm trying to hit the corners and everything else, I'd rather walk that guy and make sure that I get the next guy. And that's the whole thing about, you know, veteran pitchers. If you look at someone and you have a guy that's hot and a guy that's not hot, who are you going to pitch to? The guy that's not hot.
Well, the celebration goes on out in Anaheim for the Red Sox in the visitors clubhouse. We said at the beginning of all this, 6 innings would be great for Curt Schilling. Instead, they get 7 shutout innings. And now we talked about the strange schedule. They'll roll on now with 4 days off. They will not have played 2 games in a row until this Friday and Saturday.
This is really amazing. I mean, in some ways, it's very good because you know your bullpen, your pitchers, you can line up your pitchers again for the next series. You'll get Beck at the start of the championship series. They'll probably go with the same thing, except have to add a 4th starter for 1 game in a 7-game series. And there you see the schedule coming up. Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, as you see it.
Yeah, the difference from past series is there's a day off there between 4 and 5. Those are usually 3 in a row. The great thing, obviously, you want to clinch and move on, but by sweeping, Beckett is available for game 1, so you've got your horse on the mound.
You got your horse, but still seem like you're having a week off. You know, when you're in a series like this, you want to play as soon as possible, just get it over, because one thing, you're hot.
Yeah, and the other thing, remember last year the Tigers? I mean, they went on a roll.
Too long a break.
They had a long break, and I really thought that hurt them in going into the World Series against the Cardinals because they were playing great baseball. They had like a week off, I think, between, and that really hurt them, I believe.
The one thing may happen here: if the Indians win, they'll have just as long a break, and if the Yankees win, well, they're going to keep playing. The good news, obviously, as you saw from the video, the celebration goes on. Jonathan Papelbon is fully clothed, well, so I think Red Sox Nation's happy to see that tonight.
For right now.
It's still very early in all of this. The celebration going on in Anaheim. Hey, there's Jonathan Papelbon right in the middle of it all. As we have learned, Jonathan Papelbon enjoys the victory celebrations, and they've got another one going on in the clubhouse. Let's go out to Anaheim right now and check in with Tina Cervasio, who's just outside the clubhouse.
Tom, coming up, we'll take fans inside the Red Sox clubhouse as Boston is heading to the 2007 ALCS. You'll hear from manager Terry Francona and the players as they celebrate sweeping the Angels and heading back to the ALCS. We'll have all of that coming up, Tom, all from Anaheim. Now back to you in Boston.
Now, taking you inside the clubhouse right now, as you can see, the man of the hour, Curt Schilling, coming in and getting doused by his appreciative teammates. Big game Schill comes through again as Curt Schilling gets it done with 7 shutout innings. Red Sox win this one. They blow it open with 7 in the 8th inning. 9-1 the final score, a 3-game sweep of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They will host game 1 of the ALCS at Fenway Park on Friday.
NESN congratulates the Boston Red Sox for winning their American League Division Series.
Another day in Masonville, where the friendly office supply folks from WB Mason give you your own local service team. Yes, your own driver, sales rep, and service person who know you and your business. Well, over in Office Superstore land,
You shipped that order? Ask him. No, him. What order?
you get excuses. Now, any questions?
Who are those wonderful people?
Who but WB Mason?
Best of 3.
Dream on.
The feeling of security you want in your life. That's the power of Fallon Community Health Plan.
You used the card.
No.
Cheater.
Extra Innings is brought to you by WB Mason and their new What a Bargain Super Clearance Center, where you can save up to 75% on office furniture and equipment. Located at 647 Summer Street in Boston, across from the Boston Athletic Center.
Welcome back to our NESN HD Television Center. History will show a 9-1 game here in Game 3. Much tighter than that, although it did feel as though once they got the 2 runs on the board, the Angels sort of gave up on this chase. But the 2 runs came after Curt Schilling got out of the bases-loaded jam. Then Weaver comes back out. First 2 batters he's going to face, Ortiz and Manny, and they are the 2 bats who carried the Red Sox this postseason so far.
Well, you're talking about Big Pop, you're talking about bad man. What can you say? I mean, you make a mistake on those guys, and that's what happened. He made 2 mistakes, and you make 2 mistakes on good hitters, and good hitters are going to capitalize on that. But the thing about it, if he made a mistake, he wanted to keep the ball in the ballpark. But the wind was blowing out. Jerry knows about that wind out there, and you got 2 power hitters, ball went out the ballpark.
He's not suggesting your home runs were all aided by the wind out in Anaheim.
The old Santa Ana winds. But I'll tell you what, when they blow like that, the ball travels pretty well.
And it wasn't much of a mistake to Ortiz, just a little bit out over the plate, but it was still down.
No, the ball to Ortiz, they wanted inside, and they got it down, but he didn't get it inside far enough. And of course, David Ortiz just about one-handed that ball out of the ballpark. You see the location, the catcher's set up inside, but the ball goes back toward the inside corner. And of course, that's a great pitch for a left-handed power hitter to hit, and that's exactly what Ortiz did. That's just a hanging breaking ball right there to Manny Ramirez, and he just crushes it to center field. So that was not a good pitch at all by Weaver. And you could see Weaver after that home run, his shoulders just dropped. I mean, that was it. It's almost like he knew that, you know, my day's ruined now because they're not going to score any runs for me.
These 2 guys, Ortiz had the huge 2-run homer in Game 1. We know what Manny did with the walk-off in Game 2, and that was huge because still scoreless at this point. You need your big bats to carry you, and they did these 3 games.
You need your big bats, and all of a sudden you get Schilling in a situation. He gets out of a situation, and you as a pitcher, you know, we talk about Weaver, say, hey, things going their way, so what can I do? I'm just going to go out there and try to keep it down to 2 runs and see what happens.
Red Sox hit 5 home runs in this 3-game series, 4 of them coming from the dynamic duo of Manny and Ortiz. Look at the differences. Those 2 batters hitting .533 over the 3-game series with 4 homers. They were walked 11 times. The rest of the Red Sox hit .218 as a team and 12 RBI there, but 7 of them coming in the 8th inning when it was sort of garbage time here. Are you looking at this as the 2 guys leading the way, or are we a little concerned that the rest of the team's going to have to get going offensively in the next round?
Well, what surprises me, Tom, when you look at that, you know that they're trying not to let Ortiz and Manny beat you, and they certainly walked David plenty in this series, but still they both were able to beat him, and that's what's surprising about it. The rest of the offense was not really good in the whole series, with the exception of the 8th inning when they got the 7 runs. By then, the game was basically over anyway. You know, it's pretty good pitching they saw out with the Angels. I mean, the offense was pathetic, but the pitching was not that bad. You know, Lackey was not that bad. Certainly, Escobar, the 2nd game, and of course Weaver did a decent job. He started off well in this game, but after the home runs,
he was very good in relief.
Surprisingly so against the Red Sox, both here and out there.
Spire came in and really gave it up today. But he didn't help.
But which is another thing too. You know, guys that have been around the game, that your power hitters, you're talking about Manny and you're talking about Big Poppy. It's sort of like when the leaves turn, they're going to have their stuff together. And like Manny was said earlier, I haven't really had my stuff together the whole year. But we're looking at today's game. A lot of guys didn't really put any base hits together. So in a way, it's a good thing because now you can have the flip. You got your power hitters, and the guys going to be setting the table pretty soon.
And one lesson to be learned, when you're facing guys like Manny Ramirez, don't make mistakes. You saw the 2 home runs that he hit, the one at Fenway Park, a mistake. Fastball was supposed to be away. It was inside. He kills the ball. Hanging breaking ball today. I mean, good hitters don't miss mistakes. And now he's hitting mistakes out of the ballpark.
Yeah, they walked Ortiz 6 times. They walked Manny 5 times. You expecting to see more of that as the postseason rolls on?
Well, yeah, but that's okay as long as they keep hitting home runs like that. You want to get a chance for the bat of the ball.
We keep winning, we okay.
Let him walk him.
Well, Lowell and Drew each with 3 RBI in the series, so if they can pitch in with some RBI after those guys get on base, obviously the line will keep moving, as they like to say, in the Red Sox clubhouse. And you can see what's going on in the Red Sox clubhouse. The party continues as the Red Sox celebrate a 3-game sweep. Daisuke Matsuzaka smiling. He knows he'll get another chance now that they're heading on to the ALCS. Red Sox, last time they were in the postseason 2 years ago, they were swept by the Chicago White Sox in 3 games. Now, Curt Schilling taking the team back to the stage where it was in 2004, where they, of course, spotted the Yankees a 3-game lead in the ALCS and then rallied to win that one as they would roll on to 8 straight wins and the World Series championship against the St. Louis Cardinals. That was 2004. The celebration right now going on. Terry Francona talking about it with Tina Cervasio.
Congratulations to manager Terry Francona as the Red Sox advanced to the 2007 ALCS. Terry, Curt Schilling only had a 2-run lead to deal with and hold on to over 7 innings. How masterful was his performance?
He pitched up to the moment. You know, we extended it late, but even in the 7th, I mean, he had to make pitches. He executed all game. He threw all his pitches for strikes. Again, it's so gratifying to watch him do what he does. And then we extended the lead, and we really played good baseball.
Really, this entire series, Terry, how did the bats of David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez completely shift the advantage in your favor?
They hit some huge hits. I mean, we left a couple guys on early. They come back and hit the back-to-back, give us that 2-0 lead. But everybody, we played good baseball. You have to play good baseball to beat that team. They push, but we did a good job of being where we're supposed to be and playing the game.
For you personally, how satisfying is it to take this ball club to 2 ALCSs in your 4 seasons here?
Winning is huge. This isn't a day for, this is us. This is a big we day. I'm thrilled of what we've accomplished and what we hope to. Personally, I'm just being around these guys makes me happy.
Terry, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, you can see the celebration going on as Terry Francona saying it's a big we day, and that's about the appropriate way to put this. Nobody's thinking about what they did or didn't do. Really, they're all thinking about, and having watched them go through this in 2004, they were all thinking about what they're going to get to do. They're going to get to play more baseball.
And not only that, Tom, they're dictating how they can do things, because by sweeping this series, they don't have to use Beckett. They can set up their pitching exactly the way they want it in the championship series. So, I mean, everything from the last couple of weeks of the season, getting into the playoffs, getting through the first round with a sweep, and now going into the championship series, they've been able to dictate all this, give guys rest, and set up the pitching the way they want it.
Give guys rest. They will have played 3 games in 11 days when the American League Championship Series begins.
And also, you as a hitter, with things the way they're going right now, say the Indian wins or the Yankees win, you can go back and look and see how the pitchers are pitching you. So now if they're used to throwing you a lot of curveballs, you can make something out. Just because you have a curveball machine, you have a fastball machine. So now you as a hitter, all the days that you have off, you can do that.
Red Sox had a 5-2 record against the Indians. They wound up, as you know, having a losing record against the Yankees. We'll tell you all about that as we look ahead of the ALCS and get more reaction to American League Division Series champion Red Sox as they clear the first hurdle and move on to round 2 of the Major League Baseball postseason. 9-1 the final, 3-0 the series sweep.
Coverage of Terry Francona's press conference is brought to you by Sullivan Tire. Always here to get you there.
Baffled by a strange disease that stretches the arms of people buying copy paper at office superstores, scientists at the W.B. Mason Institute studying the problem shocked the world by announcing a cure.
Free same-day delivery.
Call 1-888-WB-MASON by 11. Your copy paper will be delivered by 5. Now, a happy ending is well within reach.
Oh, but WB Mason! The nation unites at Soxheads.com, the only social networking website dedicated to the Sox. Keep up to date with the latest news and rumors and enter daily contests where you can win signed Red Sox memorabilia, iPods, and much more. There's blogs, videos, unlimited photo galleries, and game time chat. Join the Dream Team Challenge and find out where to eat and stay when you follow the Sox on the road. It's all right here. The nation awaits your arrival. So join now. Membership is free, only at Soxheads.com.
.890 AM ESPN Radio. Hear every pitch of the Major League Baseball playoffs and World Series on ESPN Radio. Boston's home for the baseball postseason and all Red Sox playoff games. It's Soxtober on 890 AM ESPN Radio.
NESN congratulates the Boston Red Sox for winning their American League Division Series.
Show your support for the home team during the playoffs. The latest MLB gear is available now at Olympia Sports.
Big Poppy, the Red Sox celebrating as they've got the rain gear on and the swimming goggles on, although Big Poppy went with the sunglasses because champagne stings the eyes, my friend. The 6th time the Red Sox have taken a 2-0 lead. 5 out of the 6 times they win the series. The 1986 World Series, the only time they didn't finish off the deal. Red Sox win this one 9-1, a big 7-run 8th inning. Adding a little bit of offense to the numbers, 269 their batting average at a team, scoring 19 runs, 5 homers, 4 of them from the big boys. But the big number here, the ERA of 1.33, the Red Sox pitching was outstanding. In fact, the only pitcher who really had any trouble in this series was Daisuke Matsuzaka, but the bullpen stepped in with 4 1/3 hitless, scoreless innings in relief of him in Game 2, and Manny Ramirez got the walk-off homer. Red Sox sweep the Angels 3-0 the final. Back with Jim Rice and Jerry Remy here. I'm Tom Karen. That 8th inning broke it open, but it started with a little bit of Angels baseball, the kind of thing we heard they would do a lot. Lugo coming all the way around from first base to score on Dustin Pedroia's hit.
Yeah, a little bit of a gamble with nobody out. DeMarlo Hale taking that chance, and of course you see Pedroia getting the base hit down the line. Now with nobody out, most of the time the third base coach should put the brakes on because you have a chance to have a big inning. But of course with Willits out there, you see Hale continue to wave him on. It's not a good throw by Cabrera. It's up the first base line, and Lugo does score, so that kind of takes DeMarlo off the hook a little bit. But the fact, right then the game's over. I mean, I felt it was over at 2-0. You had a run here, and then they just kept adding runs and runs and runs after that.
But it seemed like a very good time to take the gamble. You've got a 2-0 lead in the game. You've got a 2-0 lead in the series. Why not give them a little bit of pressure?
Yes, as a third base coach to make that decision, but I'm like Jerry. I think I would say, hey, whoa, a little bit. It looks good, pretty good. Now you can almost second guess, but I would say no. Just go ahead and let the big guys come up and swing the bat.
I agree. I think there was a bit of a gamble to be taken, in a close ball game as it was. And, usually with nobody out, you've got to be 100% sure as a third base coach that man can score. And I don't think you can call that 100% sure. But
the throw was there in time. It was up the line. But once that run came in, the floodgates were up, and Spire had nothing today.
Spire was terrible. Oliver came in. He had nothing. I mean, they were defeated. They were a defeated club after the 2 home runs.
And you can see they just piled on 7 runs before the inning is over, 5 hits, a couple of walks. They wind up sending 9 men to the plate in that 8th inning. And, I think they said it right during the TBS broadcast. Red Sox fans got better and better seats as that inning went on because the place cleared out pretty quickly.
Well, I couldn't wait for it to be over. I said, you guys got enough. Let's go. Let's get 3 outs and get it over with.
And Jacoby Ellsbury coming in there. By the way, nobody likes that head-first slide at home, and everybody seems to do it lately. But they just pile it on here with 7 runs in that 8th inning, 9-1, the final score on a 10-hit attack. And as we told you at the pregame show, a huge streak here. I don't know what this means because it goes back to 1986. So obviously one has nothing to do with the other. But 9 straight postseason wins against the Angels. What were they? Were they the California Angels back then, or were they Anaheim Angels? But they've changed names 5 times, and the Red Sox just keep beating them. That ties the longest current postseason winning streak of the Yankees against the Rangers. It's been a while since Texas has been in the postseason, but it seems like the Red Sox have certainly had the Angels' number, and in the end here, they outscored them by 19-4 over the course of this 3-game series. Really was just a complete domination by the Red Sox.
It was, and when you hear Angel players coming in and saying, you know, this is not a good place to play, we have trouble playing here, it's kind of a weird ballpark, with bad things happen here. Well, you're right. You know, when you come in with that kind of attitude, what do you expect? You're not going to, you know, to get lucky and win a couple of games? I mean, they just had a bad feeling coming into the series because they had to open up here at Fenway Park, and then getting back there with their fans behind them, that didn't last very long. You know, as soon as the 2 home runs, their fans were gone.
You know, you as a team, even though you're going to another ballpark, you have to change your attitude because a lot of teams are at home watching you. You know, you in the playoff, you got to get a chance to go to the World Series. So I wouldn't let that affect me. Hey, it's almost like you got to go there for 2 games, try to win one of the games, go back home and try to split there.
I'm not sure, too. You know, a lot was made of the injuries, and they certainly have had some injuries, the Angels. But even with Matthews in there, I don't think it makes any difference in this series at all. I mean, Matthews is a tremendous center fielder, a great defensive player, but offensively, I mean, he's not a Vladimir Guerrero threat. So I don't think even having him in the lineup against the type of pitching the Red Sox threw against them, that would have made a major difference.
Well, they head on to the League Championship Series now. One Red Sox player heading back for the first time since 2003 when he did it with the Marlins, Mike Lowell, after the game in the clubhouse.
I hope so. I mean, they're doing their thing, but you know, if we're going to go far, we're going to count on them. So it's one thing to count on them, and it's another thing for them to come through. And they've been doing that in big fashion. So that's why they're our 2 big dogs.
I know you expect to win every game, but you sweep a team in the postseason. Surprising on any level?
You know, yes and no. I think with the way we played, not really, because I think we played a complete game of baseball, and our pitchers did a great job. But you know, Anaheim's a very good team. I don't think you ever think you're going into a series and it's going to be a cakewalk.
How important was it for Joy to get that big?
I don't know. You know, Petey's the type of guy, you know, everyone put so much pressure on him in April, and he was able to overcome that. So I'm not sure one at bat was going to, you know, really put him down or anything. He's a guy who knows how to grind it out. But it was a big hit. You know, it kind of started a huge rally for us, and we got us an extra a run, and we were able to pour it on after that.
Do you have a preference on who you face the next round?
Not really. I prefer them going 5 games so they can use up all their guys. You know?
All right, that's Mike Lowell after the game. By the way, the Cleveland Indians out to an early lead over the New York Yankees. A 2-0 lead. Trot Nixon with a 2-run homer for the Indians. Always been a Yankee killer, hasn't he?
And against Roger Clemens. Remember those battles?
That's right. You go back to, what was that, Labor Day or Memorial Day? I forget which one.
The stare down.
The stare down. That's exactly right. So Roger Clemens with the start. We'll keep you updated on that. You know, it's a real interesting shift here, a real interesting divide in Red Sox Nation. There are fans who would love them to face the Yankees because of everything that goes with them. There's a lot of fans who said, been there, done that. I'd just as soon move on and see somebody else.
Yeah, I don't care who they play. I mean, I prefer to see Cleveland, to be quite honest with you, because I think it would be a better series. You know, we've seen plenty of the Yankees. They've got over that hump back in 2004 where they came back from the 3 games. You know, you finally got the win against New York. You run to win the World Series. I also think the Cleveland Indians may present a bigger problem to the Red Sox than the Yankees would because of Carmona and because of Sabathia. I don't think the Yankees have 2 starters that can match either one of those guys. And they're also got some pretty good arms in that bullpen, too. So we'll be deep in, you know, digging into that deeper, as I should say, well said, you know, as we go on. But the fact is, I think with those 2 pitches, I think they are better qualified to give the Red Sox a chance, a tougher chance.
Plus, they got to fight those bugs if they go out to Jacobs Field. Let's go back to Anaheim. No, we're going to wait on that, as we thought Kurt Schilling was stepping up to the podium. That'll happen in just a couple of moments. The Indians and Yankees are playing in their game. Theo Epstein, I believe, we're told. Is that the podium or in the clubhouse? Theo Epstein in the clubhouse. Let's go right now.
They have a great personality, and I think our team manages to be really loose but professional at the same time. So I think they didn't really change in the postseason from the way they were during the regular season, which is a good sign.
Theo, Terry talked so much about playing good, complete baseball. How did this team achieve that during the series?
I think the name of the game this series was execution. You know, I think we knew what we needed to do to go out and win the series against a really good team, and from top to bottom, our starting pitching, and our bullpen, and offensively, I think we executed incredibly well. It's one thing to have a good game plan, and I think our advanced scouts did a great job, but when you have starting pitchers like today who can go out and throw it right to a spot and execute, never letting up mentally, it's huge.
And this is a different Kurt Schilling, and how did he perform on the stage today in this situation, the way the pitcher he is now?
Remarkably well. I mean, he had just the same level of success he's had in the past in the postseason, but with a different style. I think he was really an artist out there today. I'm very proud of him.
And what about the lineup and the way that Manny and David clicked at the perfect time?
Manny and David were huge. I mean, they both started swinging the bat and found their home run stroke at the same time, and that makes us a different club because you can't pick anyone to pitch to. And then late in Game 3, I thought our whole lineup started grinding at bats and executing really well.
Safety of the GM, we'll let him go right now. Thank you.
All right, all smiles in the Red Sox clubhouse. You know, talking about execution, this was a team that everyone thought would be inferior defensively to last year's club, which had the best fielding percentage in Red Sox history. This year, just off that mark, second best defensive numbers in club history. One error the other night in the 8th inning, but this has been a very good defensive team. Are you surprised when you looked at this team coming into the year that they're this good defensively?
A little bit surprised, and then they started off slow. They were at the beginning of the year, they were down around 12th, 11th in the league defensively, but as the year went on, they get better. Look, you have a guy like Coco Crisp in center field, who just became one of the elite center fielders defensively in the American League. Also, Kevin Youkilis at first base. We didn't expect him to play as well over there. Pedroia, very sure-handed at second base. Lugo probably had his best defensive season he's ever had, and you know Lowell's going to be steady after a very slow start for him. So, you know, the infield was very tight all season long, and of course with Crisp in center field, that certainly covers a lot of ground. It helps out the left fielder, helps out the right fielder.
All right, Mike Lowell is at the podium. Let's listen in live.
Key to our success, you know, because if we can get Pedroia and Uke and those guys set the table for those guys, we put those pitchers in a position where they have to throw to David and Manny. And I think with myself, JD, Tech down the line, we have to put together good at-bats as well, because we don't want David and Manny just getting four easy ones and pitching to someone else. So I think the fact that we can put together professional at-bats, one guy after the other, speaks a lot about what our team's capable of doing. But the main key is pitching. You know, we need a pitch to keep playing well and to keep advancing.
Way in the back on the left. Again.
Mike, would the layoff help or hurt the Red Sox the next 5 days?
With the layoff? Yeah. I think it's okay because we know ahead of time what we're getting into. You know, we saw the schedule ahead of time, and I don't think we wanted this series to go 5 games just to have less days off. You know, so we'll take it as it comes and have our workouts and try to stay sharp and, you know, get ready for game 1.
Over here on the right against the wall.
Player, and that just kind of follow up on that last question. Since March, you've been going just about every day off here, day off there, but now you got the time off. Does that make a difference? Does that change the approach? Would you rather play after 1 day off and go right back at it?
Well, I think any team would rather not have 5 days off, but if that's the way it goes, you got to go with it. But you know, I remember in 03 when we were in the playoffs, it was kind of 1 day off, start again. So you can kind of keep that same rhythm. But I think, you know, both sides have to have the same deal, you know, and I'd rather win 3 than go 4 and 5, you know, so we'll take it. And I don't think there should be any letdown. If you have a letdown because you have too many days off, you have a problem. You know, we're in the playoffs, and this is where we want to be, and our intensity has to be at a high level, and we need to execute in order to win some ball games.
Any last ones for Mike Lowell?
Mike, any preference between the Tribe or the Bronx Bombers?
Don't call them by their nicknames, please. Not really. You know, I think we've played the Yankees so many times. They're more familiar to us, but they're kind of two different teams. You know, I think when you look at the Yankees, everyone talks about their lineup 1 through 9 and how dangerous they can be. But I think you get lost in the fact that Wang, Pettit, Clemens are pretty good pitchers. You know, it's not like they're, you know, not getting good pitching performances. They're solid. And with Cleveland, you see Sabathia and Carmona, two guys that can really shut down lineups. So my preference is that they play 5 games. You know, try to use their guys up, and so we can be a little bit more rested than them. But either team's going to be a challenge for us, and it's going to be a tough series. And you know, hopefully we can be ready for it.
Any last ones for Mike before we let him go? Okay. Mike, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Guys. All right, we're going to let Mike Lowell go. And I guess what? You have to ask that question every time?
That's a ridiculous question.
Face?
I mean, they ask it all the time. You think anybody's going to come out and say, you know, oh, I want the Yankees because I know we can beat them. I mean, how about the Bad News Bears? Give me the Bad News Bears.
Just once. I think we can kill the Indians. Let's get Cleveland in here.
I mean, if you listen to Mike, I mean, that was just true professionalism. I mean, he was just saying all the right things at the correct time. And like he said, to me, We knew how the schedule was. We knew that it was going to be like this if we won the games, 3-0. I don't want to go 5. I want to win as soon as possible. Have the days off, and we just adjust.
All right, as we look ahead here, it'll start Friday. We know Josh Beckett will be on the mound for Game 1. Now, you could move Schilling to the number 2 spot if you wanted. Any reason to do that, or do you see them
we would
continue?
try to make out that rotation, about halfway through this game, and it seems like if they keep it the way it is and you slide Wakefield, if healthy, into one of those starts in Game 4, that means the final 2 games you would have Beckett and Schilling. Am I correct? Or Matsuzaka and Schilling.
So you go. If you went the same rotation, and if you put Tim Wakefield as the number 4 starter, you'd go Beckett, Daisuke, Schilling, Wakefield, Beckett, Daisuke, and you'd have Schilling in Game 7.
Yeah, which would basically be the same as this. So, I mean, why would they change? I don't know why they would change. Depending on whether it's the Yankees or it's the Cleveland Indians, maybe there's a reason they would shuffle things around, depending on the success that they've had against those clubs. But the way it lines up, especially with that off day in the middle and the road, I mean, it kind of works out perfect if they stay with the same rotation.
I think that, you're talking about as far as starts for Daisuke, the season's a little longer, so why not push him back? And then you have a situation where you can have Schilling and Beckett may pitch 2 games.
They would pitch 2 games under the current thing. The question would be, then you might have Daisuke. If you flip-flop Schilling and Daisuke, you could have Daisuke in Game 7 as opposed to Schilling. I would think they like the experience of Schilling in Game 7.
Yeah, that's why I meant the guy got more experience than Dice.
And of course, when you get to Game 7, everybody comes out of the pen. Starters go out there. All rules are forgotten if you ever get to a Game 7. But we got a long way to go before we worry about Game 7 of the ALCS. First, you got to figure out who they're going to play. And again, bottom of the second, they're at Yankee Stadium with Roger Clemens on the mound. Trot Nixon had a solo homer. Beg your pardon. Told you a 2-run homer before. A solo homer. I guess that was the second run to make it 2-0. Johnny Damon had a hit just because we can't get too many former Red Sox out in the conversation here. Red Sox win. They await the winner. Julio Lugo went 3 for 10 in the series. Spoke with Tina Cervasio.
Julio, the way you guys swept the Angels, I mean, how well did you play baseball? How complete was this series?
We played very good. Our pitching was one of the strong games. They would come out great. All our pitchers, Beckett, Matsuzaka, and Schilling, came out today strong, and we play good defense, and that's what we need to do.
What were your thoughts on Schilling's performance today? This is a different pitcher than he was in 04, and then when he won the World Series with Arizona. How effective was he for you guys?
He was great. I mean, he knows how to pitch. He makes the big pitches when he needs to, and he kept all those guys. He was ahead of those guys all the time, and he performed very well. I mean, he gave us that game that we knew he was going to come out and pitch.
You celebrate winning the AL East championship, and then now here you're advancing to the ALCS. How satisfying is this for you as an individual to advance to this level now as you head towards the World Series?
Well, no, so far this has been the best of my career. I told the guys that that's what I'm signed here for, and I'm very happy to be here and to enjoy this moment at this stage of my career.
You got a couple of days still before Game 1. How challenging is it to kind of stay in the swing and keep yourself going? Care of the left fielder. So how do you answer that question now? Thanks to Manny. How did that feel?
That was cool.
Congratulations, Julio.
Thank you guys.
You know what they say, when you can sneak up and dump a bucket of ice water on someone, you're a bad man. Yeah. Manny Ramirez able to sneak up there. Red Sox, again, they're going to be asked a lot about these days off here, and as you brought up, because a lot of people think it was the downfall of the Tigers last season, but as Mike Lowell said, you'd still rather take the days off than play 5 games of the first round.
Yeah, you don't want a grueling 5-game series and go right down to the wire, not sure whether you're going to win or lose, and then have to go in starting somebody that, you may not want to start in Game 1 of a 7-game series. The only concern with the days off, I think, is timing with the hitters. I think it's good, it's fine for the pitchers. I don't think it's going to bother them one bit. But, you remember, Jim, you go through the All-Star break where you had 3 days off. Most of the time you were at the All-Star game. For us who were not, those 3 days, when you came back that first day, it was tough. I mean, your timing was off a little bit. But I also think, they'll set up simulated games. They'll take plenty of batting practice. They'll face some live pitching. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. I would prefer to have the days off because it is going to be 4 days off before they open up at home and have that instead of not having the pitching lined up. I think having the pitching lined up is huge going into the 7-game series.
But see, like Mike said, look, I want them to go, if anything possible, let them go 5 games.
Sure.
And so they're going to be worn down. You're going to use all your pitches. We're going to be relaxed.
20 innings in Game 5 would be ideal.
I don't think that other one's going 5 games.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Indians have had their number. A lot of people predicted that, and obviously they were right as the Red Sox move on and await the winner. Coco Crisp had never played in the postseason. Now he's going to the League Championship Series. Let's hear from Coco in the clubhouse.
Well, to sweep this team.
You know, they're an amazing team. You would think that, you know, no matter who's on the mound, even though we have our aces, our 3 aces up there, that they will score 5 to 6 runs no matter what, just because that's how potent they are. And to be able to control the running game and not allow some of their speed guys to get on, that was able to help us to get these victories, because once they get on base, it caused a lot of drama, and I think they did a great job for us. So.
You know, it looked like Weaver was off to a good start. Then what are you thinking as you see David and Manny hit back-to-back homers?
Well, I mean, there's just a couple pitches, you know, but that's amazing. That's what we look for the big guys to do. Bobby actually said he was going to hit a home run. He came through, and then Manny does the mommy, you know, a little too long, I think, but it was still cool, you know, to see them go back-to-back, and, you know, he pitched a great game, and it was just those two hits, really, that hurt him, and that's really all we needed to win, but we put the icing on the cake for some insurance, and it ended up being a great game.
Congratulations, Coco.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, Coco Crisp and the Red Sox have swept away the Angels in the American League Division Series. They are heading to the American League Championship Series. Jonathan Papelbon still fully clothed, still enjoying every minute of the celebration. No doubt enjoying the work Kurt Schilling put in on the mound today. 7 shutout innings as he pitches the Sox into the second round.
I work at AAA, but I do not drive a tow truck.
I do not assemble maps.
I work at AAA and I provide insurance.
Car insurance.
Homeowners insurance. Insurance for all sorts of important things.
Why come to AAA for insurance? We'll give you the best coverage.
At the best price.
Or combine your homeowners and auto insurance for an even better value.
I don't drive a tow truck.
But I can save you a truckload on your car insurance.
Call 866-222-7871.
AAA makes it simple.
I make it simple.
I wanted to do something better with my life.
I've always liked working with both computers and people. That's why I called.
The demand for healthcare administration has grown dramatically. These are good jobs available at area medical offices, hospitals, and insurance companies.
This school is different. They really want you to succeed.
To get started, call Northeast Technical Institute now at 800-447-1151. That's 800-447-1151.
Have you seen our trucks? These are the trucks that can save your business money. Mechanical Services has been maintaining and improving the heating and air conditioning needs of businesses in Maine since 1957. Whether your business uses oil, gas, or electricity, it's a simple equation. More energy efficient equipment equals more money for your business. Call us for a free evaluation and look for the white trucks with the big red M for Mechanical Services. We can save you money.
The exclusive 2007 American League East Championship Louisville Slugger bat is available for $129.95 plus shipping and handling. Call Hamster Direct at 866-280-BATS or see it at BigTimeBats.com. Red Sox move on. Josh Beckett got a win in Game 1. Undoubtedly will be the Game 1 starter of the ALCS. Let's hear from Beckett in the clubhouse.
Hit by some injuries, and you know, I think Garrett Anderson, I mean, he basically had to come out of the game today because he couldn't see, you know, and you know it's tough to deal with those kind of things, but you know, I guess you know, we took advantage of it.
Game on in a good way now between you two during the postseason.
I wanted to win every one of nervous starts. You know, it's one of those deals. You know, you just got to go out and execute pitches, and that's what he did today, and that's what I did a few days ago. So, you know, we need some other guys to keep stepping up. You know, a different guy every night.
How much is the pitching staff on this team underrated because of the two guys in the middle of your lineup?
Pitching staff underrated?
Does that sometimes get lost in the shuffle when you got
our pitching staff?
When you have Ramirez and Ortiz hitting all those home runs.
No, I think we get plenty of credit. I really do. You know, and our job is to go out there and execute pitches, try and get those guys as many at bats as they can, and get them in the dugout so they can hit, and they'll take care of the rest.
It's hard to believe that was the first time they've done back-to-back.
I don't know. I mean, it's not hard to believe. You know, it's one of those things. That's a pretty rare deal anyway.
All right, Josh Beckett in the clubhouse. The celebration rolls on. Terry Francona in the middle of it, and rightly so. Terry Francona, the first manager to ever lead the Red Sox to 3 postseason appearances. Now he will head them into the American League Championship Series for the second time in the last 4 years, 3 years, 2004 and again here in 2007. All right, we'll have more reaction coming up. We'll look ahead of the ALCS and get you the latest from the other ALDS. The only series still going on. The other 3 are all sweeps. Colorado, Arizona, and now Boston have all punched their ticket into the championship series. The Red Sox doing it with a 9-1 win, and the party goes on in Anaheim.
Hey, mister, you know the best way to get tickets?
Sure. You use this thing here called a telephone wire.
Gee, a telephone wire. How does that work?
Well, you pick up the phone, see? And you dial 1-800-MY-SEATS.
Yeah, but how do I know I'm getting the best seats? At Ace Tickets, they always have the best seats at the best prices. Because when you call, they search through their high-tech database for the best seats and always at the best value. So call today. Operators are standing by.
The 3 Amigos at one low price, only $6.99 each.
Real marble top and 6 cushioned Parson chairs. The Montebello is très elegant.
More! Monster oak with Paul Bunyan legs and 6 chairs. The heirloom oak is big and hardy.
More! Thick fossil stone and metal. With 6 chairs, the Brookside is pure dynamite.
3 Amigos, one low price, your choice, only $6.99 each.
The competition, busted!
At Amica, we've been in the car insurance business for over 100 years. And in that time, we've learned something very important.
I've got a 4-door
Convertible
minivan with a side impact
alarm system. Everyone is different. But there is one thing that people who call Amica have in common.
I want to be totally covered.
Amica customers understand how important choosing the right coverage is. That's why when you call, we'll take the time to understand your needs and then make sure you understand all your options. Like the right amount of property damage liability coverage and uninsured motorist protection. This can save you a lot of money in aggravation if you have an accident. So call Amica today. It's the difference between being covered
and being really sleep through the night
covered. Call now and you could receive a 15% Excellent Driver Plus multi-car discount, 10% higher than the standard multi-car discount. We'll take the time to make sure you understand your options and get the right coverage.
That's how I like to be covered.
That is how I like to be treated.
Amica. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated.
Welcome back to Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra. Tom Kerr with you here in our SNHD Television Center. All season long, the Red Sox have gotten tremendous pitching. It's why they were able to go into the postseason as the top seed, the best ERA in the American League and the best relief ERA in the American League. But they haven't had David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez at full health for most of the season. They have them at full health here in the American League Division Series. The Red Sox win, they sweep, and don't forget, Soxtober continues now with the Red Sox winning the Division Series. We'll be coming your way 1 hour before each and every American League Championship Series. This Boston Globe presents the Boston Globe pregame show. As Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame show. That's who it is. And then WB Mason's Extra Innings, Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra Sports Desk presented by FW Web. More sponsors than you can shake a stick at, and we've got them all for you through Soxtober. Right now, we've got the highlights of Game 3 as Curt Schilling takes the mound. 8-2 all-time in the postseason, the best winning percentage of anyone with 10 or more. postseason decisions. And he gets out of a bases-loaded jam there. Reggie Willis with a foul pop. Jason Varitek, a nice falling grab to end the inning. And then the very top of the next inning, the fourth inning, the big bats get it done. We told you, Big Poppy, Manny Ramirez, both back in the swing of things, and they go back-to-back home runs for the first time all season. There they are as Manny gets his second of the postseason, following up the second of David Ortiz's postseason. By the way, Big Poppy with 10 postseason homers now with the Red Sox. That passes Jason Varitek. He's got the most of anyone in Red Sox history. The 2-0 lead, and Big Show settles down. Curt Schilling had a couple of jams early on, but smooth sailing after that. 7 innings, 6 hits, walked 1, struck out 4. 76 of the 100 pitches he threw were strikes, and then the Sox break it over with 7 runs in the 8th. Dustin Pedroia down the left field line. Julio Lugo coming all the way around from first base. Pedroia alertly takes third on the throw. 3-0 Red Sox. Mike Lowell with the score 4-0 will drive in David Ortiz. That's a 5-0 lead. Then 3 batters later, already 7-0. Coco Crisp will drive in J.D. Drew and Jason Varitek. First postseason RBIs for Crisp. The rout is on. 9-0 Red Sox win it 9-1, and the celebration begins as Eric Gagne pitches the bottom of the 9th. He did give up a run. The Red Sox get out of Anaheim quickly. After taking the first 2 at Fenway, they win Game 3 on the road, and the short series is as short as can be. They take it with a 3-game sweep. A couple of hits from Ortiz, a couple more from Mike Lowell. All in all, a 10-hit attack as the Red Sox. Back-to-back homers from Ortiz and Ramirez leading the way. Curt Schilling gets the win. Okajima scoreless 8th. Eric Gagne gave up a run in the 9th. But again, the big bats, Ortiz and Ramirez leading the way. Let's hear from Manny Ramirez in the clubhouse.
Do you change anything heading into the postseason?
Not really. I don't change much. I'm just trying to keep my confidence up, and I keep trying.
Are these days off going to help you? Get over the issues that you had?
I feel good. Those days off is going to be all good, and we're just going to wait.
Do you celebrate at different levels? A division series feels different than a World Series, obviously. Do you get more up for that kind of thing?
I think, when it comes to the World Series, it's something, you cannot even describe it. And it's almost the same celebrate, but it's a whole different feeling.
Manny, how nice is it to celebrate with your team this time?
It's great, man. This is what it's all about, postseason. We're moving on to the second step, and let's see what's going to happen.
You talked the other night about how you just didn't feel like your swing was right all season. How good are you feeling about your swing right now?
For me, it doesn't matter, if my swing is not right, I always keep my confidence up, and I keep battling anybody. So that's me. I just go out there, try my best, and that's it. We got such a great lineup that anybody could pick you up.
Let's talk about this ball club. Just talk about this team overall, Manny. What your thoughts are on the way you guys have performed and swept here and been really dominant in these big-time situations?
Well, like I say, pitching is everything, and we got good pitching. So in the playoff, when you got good pitching, that's the key.
What do you think of Curt Schilling today?
He's the man, he got a lot of experience, he knows what he's doing out there, and he came through for us today.
You've been on a World Championship team. Can you sense anything about this team that is similar to 04?
I think this team is better, we got better pitching, the reliever, the bullpen is great, but like I said, anything could happen. All we got to do is keep playing hard and move on.
Manny, is this the most
All right, Manny Ramirez, 10 homers in division series play. That's the most all-time in Major League Baseball history. He's also got 22 career homers now in the postseason, which is tied with Bernie Williams for first all-time. Of course, it's mostly players in more recent years. Since the 3-round system was put in, you get more playoff opportunities. And won't it be something for Manny Ramirez if the Red Sox wind up playing the Cleveland Indians in the next round?
Well, he would love that. He loves Cleveland. He still does, and he'd love to go back and play there, and he's always had great success there. Breaking news, Tom, I understand that Manny's going to be starting a talk show tomorrow when he gets back to Boston. But we're hearing a lot of Manny over the last couple of games.
And we forget. I mean, fans forget that he's a pretty well-spoken guy. His English has come a long way since he first got here in Boston, and when he chooses to talk, and you see him a lot in the clubhouse, Jim, when he chooses to talk, the guy can talk baseball. There's no question about that.
But I think in the clubhouse, people never see the parts of Manny that I see in the clubhouse. I mean, Manny's a fun guy, and he always got something going. He's always a practical joker. He and Big Papi always have something going, and it just seemed like he's always in the middle of everything, even though people think that Manny just concentrates on baseball. Manny in there having a good time.
There are certain guys who you don't see all of their personality outside the clubhouse, and you played with one. He's sitting next to you. You know, Fred Lynn said on the show last year, he said, now everyone's seeing the Jim Rice we all saw in the clubhouse. Manny, in that way, is kind of similar. You see a different side of Manny day to day if you follow the team.
I think Manny just wants to be left alone. You know, I think at the beginning he's afraid to make a mistake and say the wrong thing, and I think he just prefers to play baseball, be left alone. Let me sit in the back of the clubhouse. Let me leave after the game. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll do my thing. In Jim's case, I think it was a little bit different. People said he was, you know, he was mean to us. He was this, he was that. I always felt that Jim was uncomfortable around the media. That was my feeling, and it came off as the fact that you know the guys thought you were you're not a nice guy. I don't think that was the case. No, I'm telling the truth. I really, that's what I honestly believe. I thought you were uncomfortable around the media, and it came off to a lot of those people as if you didn't want to talk to him, you know, and all that stuff. You hear the same thing about Manny. It's not the case at all. Manny's great. I mean, you get a chance to talk to him. He loves to talk baseball, and he knows what he's talking about. He's well aware of the history. It's his history in his game. He's well aware of how he approaches the game and what he has to do. I see him all the time, day in and day out on the road, working out early in the morning. He's at the ballpark in the morning. He's lifting weights, taking batting practice. I mean, he's got a routine. This is not some clown that doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Now you're uncomfortable being part of the media.
I'm still not part of the media. I'm just part of this.
He refuses to admit
this group here mess, and I'm not part of the media.
Been doing it 4 years. He still refuses to admit he's doing this. Jim Rice and Jerry Revy with us here in studio. Let's go back to Anaheim and check in with Tina Cervasio. She's got Jonathan Papelbon.
We only saw the closer once in this series, but what is your thought?
I don't know, Tina. We're having a great time. Yeah.
I'm going to kill you. Jonathan, you're heading to the ALCS right now. This is the first opportunity for you. You know you're going to be out there pitching. What are your thoughts on this ball club?
Yeah, well, we just need to keep this momentum going and keep this nice, loose, and easy feel that we got. You know, I mean, I think everybody's taking the field with a cool and collective attitude, and we're going out there and producing, so that's huge for us.
What'd you think of Schilling today?
Phenomenal. You know, he's the one guy, like I said 2 days ago, he's the one guy that we wanted to go out there and do good, and yeah.
Finally, someone gets him, the ringleader. Royce Clayton gets the honor. And who did name you sort of the coordinator of all of this?
I don't know. I just kind of happens, Tina.
Oh. Jonathan, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we got through Jonathan Papelbon interview relatively unscathed. We'll move on here. 2-0 is still the score. They're in the top of the third. Again, Trot Nixon had a solo home run. The Indians trying to make it 4 sweeps. I have to look up. I doubt this has ever happened. I would not think. I mean, the odds must be astronomical of all 4 series being sweeps.
Well, this is a nightmare right now for the people who have the rights to all these series, just because. Yeah,
welcome
exactly.
to baseball TV,
and you got a lot of big markets out of it. You got New York that might be completely out of it if the Yankees lose. Philadelphia's out of it. So this is not a television dream for a lot of people. A lot of people were pulling for the Red Sox, that's for sure.
Now, we don't have details, but I'm told Clemens out of the game. 2 1/3. Phillip Hughes now in, but we talked about that at the pregame show. Whatever the reason, not a huge surprise.
No surprise. You know, the guy hasn't been healthy. He was down in Tampa trying to get himself ready. He says, I'm ready. Of course, he was going to try to pitch. I don't know what the reason he's out of the game for, but it has. I'm sure it's something physical this early in the ball game. So it comes as no surprise. And as I said before, Roger, please go home. Go to the Hall of Fame in 5 years.
He'll go right into the Hall of Fame.
Yourself. It's like a boxer, you know what I mean?
Well, and this is the first year. Last year he still had the good ERA with Houston. This is the first year where you never really, right, that's right. He made the move to the American League, and he really was never able to get comfortable this year.
So you saying that sprint call wasn't that much?
Yeah. Really, he should have had that. If he had a better phone, he would have heard
listened to his wife.
Debbie would have said, no, don't go back for another year. But he did.
No, the point is, Tom, you don't want to see a guy embarrassed.
Right,
I mean, the guy's been a great player. He's a Hall of Fame player. Don't be like these boxers that keep going back out there and look foolish at the end of their career. Go home and go to the Hall of Fame and be the greatest pitcher of all time.
24 seasons. Hard to argue that he's the greatest pitcher of all time. But he is out of the game, and the Yankees trying to rally now against the Indians. And don't forget, whoever they play, it begins on Friday at Fenway Park, and we'll be here 1 hour before each and every ALCS game, after the game as well. Extended coverage on Sports Desk. Soxtober continues now that the Red Sox have swept away the Angels. Big Papi and Manny Ramirez providing the 1-2 punch in the 4th inning today. Red Sox win 9-1.
look for in a player?
5 tools: speed, throwing, playing the field, hitting for average, and power.
I can hit for power. Wow, I hit over the Sullivan Tire sign.
You drove it out of the whole ballpark.
At Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there.
You always get me there, Paul.
Red Sox Nation, please rise for your team.
Red Sox win!
The rally monkey didn't go away.
Just another Halo victory!
When you watch the Red Sox, you just can't look away. The Red Sox are drama. The Angels, Vladdy wants his first ring. One series with so many stories. A roster filled with seasoned stars. You know it'll be good. There's only one postseason. There's only one fall classic. There's only one October.
I win.
Yeah! I win! I win! I am a winner! I'm a winner.
There's a better place to play.
I'm a winner.
Foxwoods Resort Casino, home of the only poker room in New England. Check out the action at foxwoods.com.
All right, guys, let's see some hustle. You are all winners. Anderson.
What?
Jump over there and get the ball.
That's insane.
Here, take this.
Knowing you're always protected. That's the power of Fallon Community Health Plan.
Hey, Anderson, keep the card.
Nesson congratulates the Boston Red Sox for winning their American League Division Series.
All right, it is now 3-0 Cleveland leading the Yankees. Johnny Peralta just hit a double that drove in Travis Hafner. Phillip Hughes on the mound now with Roger Clemens out of the game. Indians trying to sweep away the New York Yankees, and it would be Cleveland against Boston in the ALCS. Right now still celebrating the sweep in the ALDS. Let's go back to Anaheim. Red Sox chairman Tom Warner with Tina Cervasio.
Tom Warner, chairman of the Red Sox. Here you are again, soaked in champagne, celebrating yet another clinch.
It never gets old, Tina, right? It never gets old.
What goes through your mind as you watch your ball club sweep the Angels and perform the way they did?
You know what? You have to compliment, first of all, the pitching was just awesome. To have these 3 starting pitchers, we gave up 4 runs in 3 days, right? It was awesome. And I'm so impressed with what Schilling did today. You just had this great sense of confidence that he was prepared for the game, and he pitched a beautiful game. But you know, Manny and David back to back. It was a great game. And you know, I was always worried about the Angels. I think they're a dangerous team, and I think that we got a little lucky and we took advantage of the breaks. You know, it's fortunate that Anderson and Matthews are out, but we're going to be a tough team. And now we rest till Friday, and we're one of the 2 best teams in the American League now.
And what is so special just seeing this ball club celebrate what they have accomplished this year and what's to come?
I think what was great is how professional they've been about it. Today, it was a taut game until the 7th inning, and we broke it open, and everybody's contributing, and they're contributing at the right time of year. We're going to go far, aren't we, Tina?
There you go, from the chairman.
Can we do this again?
We'll see you next time when you do this again.
So.
More champagne to come.
Thank you.
Tom, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, this is the series they'll have to win if they are to do it again. It all begins on Friday, so get Friday and Saturday at Fenway Park. Then games 3, 4, and if necessary, 5 would be on the road in either Cleveland or New York. There is a day off on the road now, not just the travel day on Sunday, but a day off Wednesday. Of course, part of this is if there are rainouts, they'll be able to move things after the game 5. If necessary, they will come back to Fenway Park for games 6 and 7 on Saturday and Sunday. The winner is to raise the pennant, head on to the World Series. Right now we head back. President and CEO of the Red Sox, Larry Lucchino, with Tina.
Congratulations to Larry Lucchino. What goes through your mind as you see this team sweep the Angels and head to another ALCS?
It's great. It's a great feeling, and it's nice to have had a little experience with this. So the newness is not there, but the excitement is.
You know, when the team clinched the AL East championship, we talked so much about the strengths of this team, and really, how did they come forth though in this series?
Well, I said that to someone earlier that it felt like the team began to click in a way. They came together. Manny came back. The injuries kind of receded. Pitchers stepped up like Josh Beckett and Kurt Schilling and of course Jonathan Papelbon. I shouldn't start naming people, but everyone just came together in a way, and the offense came together with Manny's return and David's performance, Mike Lowell's professionalism. So it just seemed like we were clicking on all cylinders in a really positive way. Now we got to do that in the next series. You know, we got 3 or 4 days to wait before we get a chance to do it again, and so this team will. There's a good feeling today, and we got to just get to the next level.
Congratulations, Larry. Thank you.
Tina. You're all wet, Tina.
Thanks to your team.
Thank you.
Well, the champagne is flowing in the clubhouse. This was the scene at the end of the game, a subdued celebration as Terry Francona came out to meet the team after the Red Sox opened it up 7 in the 8th inning. 9-1, they eliminate the Angels with a 3-game sweep.
Hi, Dad. Did I miss anything? Should be starting any minute.
City Electric. We do the lights for the Red Sox.
DinTrophy.com has all your trophy needs. Trophies, plaques, acrylics, hollowware, ribbons, pins, medals. DinTrophy.com offers the lowest prices and quick online ordering. It's fast, easy, and secure. We have a free shipping policy and next-day service. We're just a click away. DinTrophy.com. Serving New England for over 50 years, we are the Trophy people.
890 AM ESPN Radio. Hear every pitch of the Major League Baseball playoffs and World Series on ESPN Radio. Boston's home for the baseball postseason and all Red Sox playoff games. It's Soxtober on 890 AM ESPN Radio.
Bob, the hero of the day. Stick with Bob and you get more. We want more!
Genuine leather everywhere you sit, and it's only $9.99. With matching love seats, still only $9.99. Both pieces with 4 recliners. Genuine leather everywhere you sit, only $9.99.
Shop Bob's Discount Furniture, the Patriots official furniture store.
Extra Innings Extra is brought to you by Granite City Electric. Nobody knows lighting or electricians like Granite City Electric.
All right, so it'll be either the Cleveland Indians or the New York Yankees. Red Sox took 5 out of 7 against Cleveland. They lost 10 out of 18 to the Yankees. Had a big lead in that series earlier in the year and then lost, I think, 6 of the last 7 games they faced. New York, you see the batting average about the same in each. The ERA much better against the Indians. And obviously that translates to the opposing batting average. So the Red Sox obviously won't say it. It does appear it's going to be Cleveland. They're winning game 3 here, 3-0 to sweep. But is there a team you think they match up better against?
Well, you know, we know so much about the Yankees. You play them so much, you know, that there's no surprises when you play them. They know the Red Sox know them. I think there's a little more preparation that has to go into the Cleveland Indians. We didn't see them a lot this year. We do know about their 2 very good starters and a decent bullpen. Not a great closer, in my opinion. It's kind of a feisty lineup. It's not a lineup that, you know, generates a lot of runs. They're totally different from what they just saw with the Angels, but they've got some clutch performers on that club, you know, and the next 4 days we'll be able to break them down pretty good. But, you know, the Yankees create no surprises. There's nothing there. There is some work to be done against Cleveland.
How about the way you look at it? Looks like it's going to be Cleveland. How do you think the Sox match up against the Indians?
I think it's a little tougher than you talking about the Angels compared to the Cleveland Indians. I think the Cleveland Indians probably going to get the Red Sox a little harder time because of the starters and because of the depth they have on the field and they have a little depth on the bench.
Well, you said a couple weeks ago, we all said the way it was shaping up with the injuries to the Angels, that was the team you'd like to see in the first round. It really did play out sort of the way we expected.
Yeah, it did, and Garrett Anderson, you have to feel bad for him. I mean, here's a guy who goes to the plays all season, goes in the postseason, he can't open his eye, he can't even play. It's amazing he played in the first couple of games, really. And then, of course, they lose one of their really good players in Matthews Jr. in center field defensively. Provides, decent offense for him. But I really don't think it would have made a difference in this series. I think the Red Sox were a far superior team, both with their starting pitching, with their bullpen, and, of course, offensively. And they never allowed the Angels at any point in this series to run away with anything. They couldn't get any game going. No stealing, no hit and running. They stole some bases, but it didn't mean anything. No hit and running, no squeeze plays. They never put them in a position to be embarrassed. So they were clearly by far the better team in this series.
Your final thoughts?
That was the best thing about the series, that the Red Sox caught the Angels at the right time, and of course the Red Sox had quality pitching, and plus the Red Sox had the timely hitting.
All right, they take 3 straight games here, 2 at Fenway, 1 out in Anaheim, and they move on. We will do it again on Friday, 1 hour before Game 1 of the ALCS. It'll begin at Fenway Park. We don't know the times yet. Obviously, the schedule will be announced after the other series wraps up. Cleveland winning that game and that series. Will be here before and after every ALCS game. Complete pre- and post-game coverage. We don't have the games, but we'll bring you everything else that we brought you all season long, including enhanced coverage on Sports Desk at NESN.com. Soxtober rolls on. We'll come back to wrap it all up after this. Don't forget tonight at 11:25 at Sports Desk Lights Out with Hazel May. I'll look back not only at the baseball game, but how about the Patriots? A little bit of a battle today against the Browns, but they had it in hand early and took care of business. That's coming your way tonight. The weekend isn't over until it's lights out.
City Electric. We do the lights for the Red Sox.
The Cleveland Indians. The New York Yankees. Don't you just love this time of year? You know you counted them out in June, yeah. And the Yankees win! Now the kids and the vets are just coming together. The Tribe. Sabathia, Carmona, Sizemore. It's a pivotal series. It's a pivotal year. How will it end? There's only one postseason. There's only one fall classic. There's only one October.
The vehicle you want, priced thousands below manufacturer suggested retail. That's Barney Value. Now save nearly $5,000 on 07 Pontiac Torrent. V6 automatic with air, power windows and locks, keyless entry, and more. Just $17,990. Four-wheel drive 07 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab, automatic with air, OnStar navigation, trailer equipment, and more. Over $7,500 in savings, just $22,990. Barney Value from Barney Buick Pontiac GMC Hogan Road, Bangor. GMC, we're professional grade.
Ride the best. Outlander from Can-Am. The best engineered ATV you can buy, period. The most powerful engine in each respective class. An optional XD package with an impressive lineup of factory-installed options.
See B&D Marine, Brewer.
It's a wrap and it's a sweep. Final score for the final time, 9-1 Red Sox beat the Angels, a 3-0 win in a best-of-5 American League Division Series. For Jim Rice, Jerry Remery, our entire NESN crew, I'm Tom Carrot saying thanks for watching. We'll see you Friday, 1 hour before the first pitch in Game 1 of the ALCS. Don't forget Sports Desk Lights Out coming up tonight at 11:25.
Red Sox did everything better than the Angels in the series.
NESN congratulates the Boston Red Sox for winning their American League Division Series.
You're watching NESN. We now join our regularly scheduled programming, already in progress.
You want to talk sports? I'm your point man.
Globe 10.0, presented by Verizon. Hosted by Bob Ryan. He's going one-on-one with Boston's best sports writers.
On the next Globe 10.0 presented by Verizon, Chris Gasper joins me as we get into the baseball playoffs and the Patriots' run to greatness.
Tune in for 10 sports questions and a man with all the answers. Don't miss The Point. Tuesday night at 5:30, only on Nesson.
That's the point.
Wednesday is New England Hockey Night with Bruins Ducks coverage beginning at 9:30 on Nesson.
Over there. About 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Okay, yeah. See?